John, let me borrow you.
You're in the play. So whenever I have somebody in close guard, okay, first thing I want to do is I want to be able to fix the lapels, because if you're not using lapels and you're in the gi, then you're doing no gi in the gi, and it's a complete waste. It's like you have a big, wonderful four-wheel drive truck and you're only driving it on the street slow. You don't want to do that. You want to take it off-roading, so use what you got, okay? I know conceptually that in order for him to pass, he needs posture. His primary posture is going to be with his right hand, because here I'm pulling him right into this triangle, into this pyramid. He's very stable into the points of the pyramid, okay? So he's stable that way, he's stable that way, he's stable this way. So if I pull him, he's stable. But what I want to do is I want to change the angle here, okay? And I want to constantly make him commit to this post right here, okay? Next thing I want to do is I want to begin to manipulate this post and to move the angle and to change this. So I want to move this here because he's connected to my chest, okay? And I need to grab high enough up here to where I'm actually having an impact on his posture. I see a lot of grabbing here. It literally does nothing. You may keep him away, but that's not what you want. You want to reach here and twist, more so even without using the thumb. As he relies more on this hand right here for posture, I grab this elbow right on the inside of that bone where all your nerves go, and I move my hips to the right, and I begin to open this up and pull him forward, so that now I can begin to break his posture. He, in turn, repostures, okay? And I want to make it hard for him to posture. He postures again, hip to the right, and I'm going to take this out here, okay? Ultimately, what my goal is to make him work harder just to be able to posture, because in this position here, he really doesn't have much. Meanwhile, I have choke setups here. I can control his posture with this lapel. We worked on this shoulder trap choke last week, okay? As he tries to posture, I keep him down, And see how hard it is for him to posture? So what I want is, I want to get him to commit, and I want to be able to ultimately get a 2-on-1 on this hand. He'll still posture here, but I'm going to grab the sleeve, and I'm going to go right at the wrist as he's gripping here, because I want to break this grip here. I want to lift my hips, and I want to pop it this way, and I want to bring his hand here. As I immediately want to move my hips out, and I have back exposure right here. It's very similar to what Ivan taught as the Sumigeshi. Look a little bit this way. It's tough. Okay, look. What Ivan taught was basically this, right? It's the same thing, it's just now that we're in the guard, okay? So I want to achieve this, okay? How do I achieve it? We have the lapel arm trap right here. I can go here, I can pull it across here, right? But sometimes for you guys, in the beginning, this may be too elaborate of a concept. So we're gonna make it much more simple. I'm here, move my hip out and my shoulders. You see how that, you can't really lean forward on it because I'm now pulling him perpendicular to his post here and here. Pulling him this way, here. Making him work. As my right hand goes to the sleeve, I pull the sleeve in. As he postures, if his hand's floating, it's even easier. But you always need to anchor your hand, okay? And as he's pushing here for posture, I pull him in with my leg because he's got to work. If I'm just relaxed here, then he dictates the control. I want to be here, yes. You see how I see his shoulders more so across my hip line? It makes it fairly easy, again, to break the posture. And if you notice, what I'm doing is I have a right to right grip. And what I'm doing is that I'm constantly trying to move my hip outside of it, and pull it. And now almost the same thing is achieved as I have this hand here, and I can begin to get back exposure here. Whenever you get both of their hands on the same side of your body, big advantage for you and a big disadvantage for them. But how do we do this? aside from breaking the posture here, pulling, and I'm pulling this elbow out. Okay? I'm rolling it out this way here. Because it forces him to now have to compromise his post. If I just pull right here, I'm just pulling him near, especially if he takes this hand, goes on the inside on my shoulder, and now he's gonna be leaning this way. If he tilts a little bit to the right here, and I pull him, and he's pushing with both. Push with this, and head up, look up. Yes, right there, I have nothing, okay? So now, I have to realign it, pull it, and use my legs nice and high. Because it's mostly of you trying to get your opponent's arms and body out of position. Right here, if his hand slips past my head, right here, I'm able to now have a straight arm lock right here, which is very effective. And it's getting the arms out of position. But what I really want you guys to do is just to get a 2-on-1. I'm pulling him in, he's posturing. I grab right here, I pull him in. My left hand goes connect with his wrist, and I loop it right here. Now as I lift my hip, I know his grip is gonna break to, if his head's 12 o'clock, like 10 o'clock. One, and I pull it in and down this hip. As I pull him in with my knees, scoot out, and even here, I can grab his wrist right here, and I can chase that back, okay? If you look, I have a very tight control right here, and you have a lot of control here. You just have to be able to turn them, or you chase their back. But he's not going anywhere here, okay? Because I'm just gonna keep turning him here, this way, here, here, and I can begin to flatten him out into the Jean-Jacques logo and finish him potentially this way here. 2-on-1, this is what I want. You can just start from here. I was just showing you basic posture breaks here. You want this fist into the sternum. And what I like to do is, just for the top person, is push and rotate. Yes, right there, yeah. So here, and now you bring it back here, so you push it, so it's harder to open this up. But if I grab enough here, and I use this to open, his posture will break. He'll slip. Here, he postures back up. Go right to right here, and I pull him in with my hip. And I want everything tight. Here, my hip is up. As my hip drops, I break his grip. And I immediately push this down to his left knee. Scoot my hip out as I get here. Yeah? And you come up on your elbow. You can begin pulling this way here, or just climb their back here, get a hook, second hook, and flap them out. So. All right? 2-on-1. The key to this 2-on-1 is to pull it. Connect the wrist, come up over, push it down here, scoot the hip out. You can even get here. Very important is that I don't let this elbow come across. The more he tries, the harder it's going to be. And here, because here, he exposes his neck, and a lot is exposed. And as you see, you got to climb the back oftentimes, because if you're here, okay, and even if you're here, it's not a guaranteed back thing. Unless you can begin to turn them to their side. Okay? The way that you turn them, if they're resisting, you go shin to shin. Pull. 1, 2, 3, here, here, here. Okay? I'm trying to turn them here. Okay? Go here. Push his leg out here. And then you get to the back control. Alright? Try that. 1, 2, 3. You right to right. Push it down to their left knee. Break their posture. Squeeze your hips to the left.
On that finishing,
Eh?
on that finishing,
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Yeah. Either one.